Hello everybody, Phenomenal Sir here, back with another episode of The First 15, the series where I play the first 15 minutes of new or underexposed indie games, and then share my thoughts and feelings about them. Today, we have up Guerrilla Gardening by Aonis. You look around your neighbor's front yard, a sad, gravel-filled, monotonous dump. Time to change that. Go forth, Guerrilla Gardener, and diversify. In this game, your playing field is your neighbor's front yard, and there is but one goal. Plant as many colorful plants as you can before time runs out and your neighbors discover what you are doing. Each time you go to plant something, the game will hand you a random color plant. Try to organize them or sow chaos, whatever you think is most beautiful. The game was published 3 hours ago and currently shows as status prototype. Now, the reason we don't have it up yet is because the game apparently starts up immediately when you open it, and there is a timer, so we are going to start now. Now. There we go. 15 minutes begins. Okay. Let's see. New text. Art or restart. Next up is purple. Next up is red. Next up is blue. Next up is green. Oh, I can't plant here. Next up is orange. Orange. Blue. Green. Orange. I'm already seeing a couple of issues, so I just want to fill this sucker up and see what happens. So it seems like there's some spots that you just can't plant on, and I don't know why. I will say that I played it, full disclosure, this is actually my second time playing this. The first time I started it, it got in this weird loop where it was just going green, orange, blue, green, orange, blue, green, orange, blue, and then it literally, I filled the bottom 3 rows, and then it wouldn't go any further. So, erwished. I'm sure I said that wrong. So do I just restart? Purple. So it always seems to put a blue one in this corner right here once you place something down. Next up is yellow. And see right there, it said next up is yellow. I clicked on that and it acts like I put a flower down because it expanded the build area, but there's no flower there. Orange. Next up is green. See? Nothing there. There's something wrong with these 2 blocks where it's not showing the flowers when you put them down. Blue, green, yellow, red, green. And then can't put anything here. Nothing, wouldn't let me put anything there. Nothing here. Go! Ah! Okay. New text. And there's a blue one. New text. Nothing happens. New text. Nothing happens. This is what happened before. I had an issue where it went to the end screen. I pressed R to restart, and see, it's not giving me flowers. And now that these are full, I can't do anything. So there's some sort of a bug happening there, developers. Restart. Next up is red. Well, apparently I'm a liar because the next one up is blue. These two blocks can't be manipulated. This works. Orange, purple, orange, purple, orange, purple, orange. And this happened with me in the previous video as well. It got trapped in like a logic loop where it just started giving me the same two things over and over. Can't put anything here. And now it like fixes itself. Oh, okay, you're good, you're good. It starts giving you like random stuff again. Oh, except for right there where it just gave me a whole string of yellows. Yeah, there's some like dead blocks in here along the edges that you just can't do anything with. Purple, the requisite free blue. Yeah. Yeah, it's doing the same thing where it gets trapped in a loop where it's giving you the same stuff for a long time. Okay, so I'm done with this. So, first 15 is a lie. It's always the first 6. So, I gotta be honest, I'm a little disappointed by this. Because, first of all, there's a screenshot here that shows like an overview of like a floating island with a house and some trees that doesn't appear to be in the game. There's a cool little thing that shows you your different flower assets, and then they've got the actual gameplay, which is kind of like a hex builder garden game. But there's, again, this is prototype, so we're not going to be hateful, but I think it's fair to say that there are some pretty glaring bugs and flaws in the game. First up being you have no menu screen. So if you have no menu screen, then there's no way to go back to the menu. There's no way to fool with the options. There's no way to start the game when you're ready to start the game. It's just, it's on, you're here. There's no way to leave except for hitting Alt F4. So, you know, if I'm playing the game, let's pretend like this is a fully developed game and there's 2 hours of gameplay involved and my phone rings. Can't take that phone call because I'm an hour into a 2 hour long game and there's no way to exit or save. That becomes a problem. New text up here. This is obviously a placeholder. You need to fix that. Down here, this weirdness with this corner, I don't know what it is, but essentially what happens every time is if you click on any of these 3, a blue flower appears here. And then you might get some text. This time I do not appear to have. Let's try here. So if I click here, I get the text, but I don't get flowers. Okay, so let's fool with this. Next up is red. No, next up is a blue flower. Full blue, yellow, green, red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green. Oh no, it's yellow. It caught me. But you still got nothing over here. Can't put anything here. Sometimes you can trick the game into letting you put a flower here, but not every time. Clicking here. See, it's not even consistent in terms of green, yellow, blue, red, green, yeah, it's the same 3. There we go. So clicking here, now it fixed it. But when I started that first game, except for these 2, it just kept saying new text, new text, new text. So the only way I can figure that out is that there is something going on with your program where you are, it's pulling a script, or it's doing something it's not supposed to, and it's not set to do the same thing every time at the start. So my simple solution would be, you have the little hex building thing, yeah? You've said, okay, we want you to get randomized stuff. It's like Tetris, but you're making a garden and the flowers don't, I don't know. It's a unique type of game. It's a unique sense of a game, but the execution is a little weird, and I know it's because it's a prototype. But that little weirdness at the start, you always have to start in that corner, and there's always a blue flower there. Seems a little strange to me. My suggestion would be to fix that, would be to redo that little opening sequence, and instead of it just starting in the corner, say, select a starting position. And then the first time you click somewhere on the map, and it opens up that hex and all the hexes touching it. And then it gives you what your first flower is going to be. Your first flower will be, and then go from there. Okay? That would be my suggestion coming into this as an outside observer on a game that's 3 hours old. That would be how I suggest to fix that issue at the beginning where it says new text, and you have that weird default where there's a blue flower in that corner where there's not supposed to be. The reason I think that's happening is because you have it starting where you have it, and you can't get to that spot unless, and according to the game's logic, you can't put a flower over there. You can't put flowers on one of these three unless there was already a flower over there. So the game just says, oh, well, there must be a flower here, and it defaults to blue because all the assets are alphabetized. So it chooses the first one on the list and drops it in there. I could be completely wrong. That's my suspicion, is that it's saying, oh, there's supposed to be something there. It's a blue. In the top right corner, which I'm realizing now that my camera was covering the whole thing, so I'll have to hang on. I'll start it back up so you guys can see what I was talking about. God, I hate that. So we'll start it one more time, and you'll see what I'm talking about with the weirdness. So it says next up is blue, right? And it changes every time. Bink, 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 bink. But sometimes it gets caught in a weird little repeating cycle until you finish a line. So I actually broke it by doing, oh, there we go. See, now it just says new text over and over, and I can't do anything other than click on this line, and now it's broken. I can't do anything. Game over. Orange, orange, green, purple, yellow, yellow, blue, green, orange, blue, green, orange, blue, green, orange, red. Oh, I fucked it up. Damn it. Anyway, so yeah, there's definitely some issues with the way it's giving you the flowers that I don't think should be a shock to the devs. If they've done any kind of playtesting at all, they realize that there's some bugs there. My suggestion would be, instead of having this next up is and then a word, have it say just along the top or somewhere, just say next, and then have a picture of the flower. Because you're going to have some people that try to play this that might not be able to read it. They might not be able to read English, or they, if you want to go for like an ease of access type thing, you could say yellow and then have the picture of the yellow flower. I feel like if you're, it feels like this is kind of a great-grandchild of Tetris. And if you want to play a great-grandchild of Tetris game, you're going to expect to be able to see what block you're getting, right? It's putting more hexes up here now all of a sudden, but I can't. Okay, so that's an issue as well. Once the game's over, it's over. It doesn't really seem like, because you can't just plant flowers wherever you want. I honestly thought this was going to be a really fun, relaxing game where I would come in and I'd be able to be like, I'm going to do some green down here, and I'm going to have a yellow sun and a blue sky and a little red house. And I was thinking I'm going to make art with flowers, right? That's what in my head I thought this was going to be, was that I was going to get to make art with a flower, or with a flower garden. And I really liked that idea because I like gardening. I like messing around in the dirt with plants. And I didn't get that. I got something else that it doesn't really seem to execute correctly and doesn't really have any depth to it other than just wildly clicking so that you can put flowers down. I think that the concept is good, but the execution is just not there for me. I don't want to just keep going over the same several issues, but I think it's pretty clear that this needs more work. As you know, the developer's not asking for money. They did say it's a prototype. It's only been out for 3 hours. So, you know, we can only be so upset or disappointed, right? I hope that the developers will continue to work on this and improve it. I will follow them. But as of right now, for me, this is not a great game. It's not an objectively terrible game, but for me, it just needs a ton of work before it's really considered a finished project, or even really something that I'd have felt comfortable putting out there for the entire world to play and experience. So for me, it's going to be a game I've reviewed, which just basically means it's not good, it's not great, it's not bad, it's just, it happened. In terms of execution, 2 stars. As I said, I really like the concept. I like the appearance of what's actually there, but then you've got a screenshot here that doesn't really seem to reflect what's actually in the game. I don't know what that is, and it really is not fully functional. Yeah, I will say, whoever did your little art for your like your title and for your little characters of like the person that's throwing the flower pot and the guy that's like sneaking and going shh, those are really cool. That whoever did that art, I like it because it's got like a very paper cutout-y feel to it, and that was part of what grabbed me and pulled me in, was the unique art style of the page. So kudos to them for that. I would just say keep at it. I think that you guys have a cool idea. It just definitely needs to be back on the drawing board, back in bug testing mode. You need to take a good hard look at what is causing these inconsistent breakdowns in the game, and hopefully it'll get some improvements in the future. And if it does, if it seems like it's had a significant amount of work done to it, I'll come back and play it. And if I do play it in the future and it's a lot better, then I'll be happy to change my review, because I don't want to give you guys a bad review. You know, you guys obviously are doing this because I think because you love it, or because you feel like there's something here. I'm not going to disagree with you. I just don't think it's there yet. And I will also point out that you've got in your thing, it says something about high score. The game doesn't really track a high score. For an added challenge, try these extra rules. Don't put plants of the same color on adjacent fields. 2 red flowers should not be touching on any side of the hex grid they are planted on. Try planting circles out of all 6 plant colors. No doubles in a circle, and no touching the same color on any of the sides. So for these 2 things, I like the idea of like challenge modes. I think you should make a menu and you should put those in the game. But these are basically impossible to do right now because you're starting in a corner, and because the colors that you get are random, you can't say, I'm going to do a circle of each color here, 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 here. It's not possible. So you're telling me to try for an added challenge a thing that I can't effectively do in the game. And then the same thing with the don't put plants of the same color on adjacent fields. That sounds fun. I like that. It's got kind of a Sudoku feel to it. Can't do it because the way the game is set up, it's just not feasible for me to actually try to meet that challenge. So it seems like you've got some cool ideas, but the ideas just aren't appearing in the game yet. So that's all I'm going to say about this. Link to the game will be in the description below. If anybody thinks that out there watching this thinks that the concept of the game seems cool, I would suggest going to the page. If you want to download it, but you've seen the game at this point. I would say give Aonis a follow, and if you see this getting updated, try it out for yourself and show them your support, because indie developers need all the support they can get. I know that from personal experience, and we want indie developers to succeed, right? Of course we do. So, thank you everybody, as always, for watching. Be sure to check out all of my other First 15 videos, as well as all of the other videos here on my YouTube. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe out there, y'all. Later.